Welcome everybody, this is Mrs. Hofferberth, and today we're going to talk about addition and subtraction of significant figures. So when we're talking addition and subtraction, we have just one rule. We need to round our final value to the last shared decimal place of the two measurements. What we're doing here is we're making sure that when we put numbers in our calculator, the number we write down actually reflects how well we know the measurements. We're not just creating new numbers that we don't actually understand or don't actually know about the measurement we're talking about and that we're reporting. So the easiest way to do this is to go back to elementary school and line up your numbers so the decimal places all are in vertical columns. So as I look at my first example here on the left, I can certainly do this addition, and when I do this addition I add 0.36 to the 16.503. I get 16.863. However, one of those numbers only extended out to the hundredths place, which means that the last shared decimal place is the hundredths place, and that's where I have to stop my value. So I'm going to have to round my final reported answer to the hundredths place. So as I look at this 16.863, well, that's between 16.86 and 16.87. Those are the numbers I can choose to round between. But if I look at what comes after the 16.863, that's going to be closer to 16.86 than it is to 16.87. And so my final answer is 16.86 grams. So when I do the subtraction for this second example, I get 5.14 inches. But the last shared decimal place where both of my measurements had a value is the tenths place. So I'm going to need to round to the tenths place. So here again, my choices are 5.1 or 5.2 because my measurement is between 5.1 and 5.2. Well, 5.14 is closer to 5.1, and so my final answer is going to be 5.1 inches. So I'm rounding to my closest value for the last shared decimal place. Let's look at two more. So for this first one, I am going to be subtracting 6.2 from the 25.39. When I do that subtraction, I get 19.19 inches. Okay, once again, my last shared decimal place is the tenths place. So for this one, I'm actually going to round up because 9 is greater than 5. And so while this number is between 19.1 and 19.2, it's closer to 19.2. So my final value is 19.2 inches. Last one, when I do this addition, I get 9.17 milliliters. And yet again, my last shared decimal place is the tenths place. And so 9.17 is between 9.1 and 9.2. It's closer to 9.2, and so my final answer is 9.2 milliliters. So you're always going to round to the last shared decimal place, and you'll either round up or round down depending upon the digit following the one that the first one that you're dropping off. If that is going to be above 5, you're going to round up. If it's below 5, you're going to round down. Points for style, if it's exactly 5, you're going to round to the even number. That eliminates kind of always adding to your values when you're exactly halfway, and it'll just give you a better overall value if you have large quantities of data. Okay, so that's addition and subtraction. I do want to point out that for addition and subtraction, the units of your measurements are the same as the units on your final answer.